Hello, everyone. I'm Phalanges.
And I'm
Welcome to the MouseCast podcast. Do I just keep going for the week of Friday, February 14th?
sensor position, and we'll also talk about do we think you should be a good player to review mice?
Oh, wait. Okay, we're just going to keep going. And I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So Melon FPS gave not such a happy review about a product that has received good reviews and why this is important this day and age. So, first off, what's on your desk?
Sorry about that. I didn't want to key you into the intro plan there.
Wait, what? What?
I
What?
didn't want to key you into my intro plan there.
Oh. No, you're good. What's on your desk?
Anyway, I've got the house pad that I just brought in, and this XM2W that creaks like an old person's knees.
Wait, what mouse pad did you say?
The freefall house pad,
Oh, okay. Oh, you did get one. Okay.
and that's actually on top of a Blitz, an orange Blitz mid too. That I just decided, screw it, I'm gonna buy this from LGG. So
Oh, wow. They shipped it fast then. Good.
yeah, I got here in like 3 days. It was crazy.
All right. On my desk, Mad Lions, Mad G Max, or whatever, battery modded. And then the ruin you gave me. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
I wanted to use the Amber, Amber 35.8 or more like Amber 38.2 because you should never name a mouse after your weight if you can't actually maintain that weight. But yeah, I can't adjust the DPI, so that's going to be talked about later. All right, first topic. Melon FPS, if you guys haven't heard of him, we talked about him on the pod a while back. So he now works for X-Ray Pad, but he's a reviewer and he gives super detailed reviews. Like this review is 24 minutes long. No surprise there. Very detailed guy. He'll do disassemblies even.
He
Well,
was the guy I could go to get like actual skate opinions as well, which is a rarity.
and he reviewed TJX's new CERAPAD KIN X, which I didn't know anything about until I guess you told me, which you found out through Twitter arguments.
Yeah, it blew up on mouse Twitter, if that's a real thing. Every niche is a Twitter universe.
So, first of all, what is, before we get to his opinion, what is the CERAPAD KIN X? Did you ever use a CERAPAD KIN?
Have you? I have not.
I have.
I remember there was a day where we both decided we were going to buy them because they were going to be the next pad we wanted, and then
Yeah.
we backed off of it for some reason.
Yeah.
So
So the CERAPAD KIN, if you guys aren't aware, it's made by TJ Exclusives, which I think got his claim to fame through 3D printing bases. Should I just go to his website, TJ Exclusives? He released the CERAPAD a long time ago. It was a ceramic coated like glass pad, right? So the idea was um, it is a hard pad like glass that's super durable, but the surface was not as speedy as a glass pad. It was more controlled. Then he released the kin. I forget the difference between the kin, but I do know it came in some unique sizes. And Lethal Gaming Gear even has them at like a really reasonable price. If we go to their sale page here, I think they're even available in some decent sizes. Yeah, 600 by 400, nice. Um, and not like an absurd price. I guess that's the sale price. I never used one, but I did hear rumors about them getting slow spots over time.
mhm.
So jumping over to this review, so TJ Exclusives marketed the. Oh, can we actually see it? Sure, meet the family.
What's interesting here, look at they mentioned that this is been developed in the U.S. and cannot be copied. China says bet.
Yeah, I mean patents and stuff. Sure, patent pending. Yeah, if he spent this much money developing it, I'm sure he has patent on it. Provisional patents
Yeah,
aren't cheap. They're like between $2,000 and $5,000, depending on a bunch of things. But
probably
yeah,
more
so
like a
if we go
40K then.
to Kaya Zara, let's just click on one. He has a bunch of different sizes available. 20 by 20, nice. Yeah, these are decent sizes to choose from. So 128 bucks for the largest sizes. So not the cheapest thing, but also not like way outside the realm of possibility. He said the
No,
Kin
checks over the SkyPad.
yeah, the Kin X's surface is totally re-engineered from the Kin V2. We invested $40,000 in R&D to create an unmatched unique surface with unique properties. It is 100% exclusive to us. The results were beyond our expectations. Okay.
But not melons.
One standout feature is the vibrant full color print. And it looks like they had the Kin by You thing on their page. Oh, yeah, here we go. So, Kin by You. So you can, Kumbaya, you can get your own graphic printed behind it, which is cool. And Melon did say that the print quality is very good.
Did you see
Um,
Super Glad by You from Pulsar? That's something
No,
I forgot to mention. Yeah, you can put your own images on the Superglide now, just like you could do the Pulsar by mice. So that's pretty cool.
that is cool. Yeah, good.
It's just becoming more of a trend across the mouse industry, which is great, or like peripheral industry in general.
Sure, as companies become like from distributors to actual manufacturers and they have the capabilities in-house. Sure.
Yep.
Also, that's just like a trend in the mouse industry, right? Being able to change switches and all this stuff.
Yep.
So, change graphics. So, let's jump over to what Malin was saying. So, he said, well, first of all, he was disappointed with the print quality he was happy with, but with the Surface, he was getting slow spots after his testing. He needed to do more extended testing compared to other reviewers. You and I haven't watched any other reviews, right?
I've not, no.
So I guess take our opinion of Melon's opinion with a grain of salt because we haven't fully. Anyway, yeah, developing slow spots, and he talks about that, which is disappointing to hear. Oh, cool, an ad.
For over 25.
Interesting that
And
it spelled the CERAPAD in the description 2 times.
really,
Just
in
noticed
his
that.
in his description.
Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah,
CERAPAD.
Carapad.
Twice. Anyway,
Yeah, so he talks about inconsistencies in the glide.
slow
Yeah,
spots also developing even after his slightly more extensive testing.
yeah. He
I think
mentioned,
the real main point here was potential like disingenuous marketing with a difference between the review units and then the retail units, right? So the
right,
bases on the review units were like full silicone across the entire base.
there's the full
And
silicone.
there it is. Yep. That looks nice. And then they flipped to like what you might find on a bunch of other pads. You'll see it here in a second. The four corners. And what that does is that leaves a lot more of like a gap between the pad and like your table. So the noise was much, much louder on those retail units. So in theory, if there's no explanation for this, you could give review units out. They get great reviews. They're not super loud. And then the retail units come out and people are like, wait, what a second. What's going on here? Like, why is this so much louder than what I saw in the reviews? So
Yeah. In fairness to TJX exclusives, or I would love to see a response. Why did the reviewers
for
get the
sure.
premium base? Is this an option that they're offering in the future? It's nothing new that reviewers do get the cream of the crop top tier option because they want it in the best light, but that needs to be expressed up front.
Was it like a factory issue and the silicone base, the full like didn't come to fruition? Who knows what happens? Can we get their
Yeah,
side of the
it
story?
doesn't matter. Like TJ exclusives needs to have a response to that. I don't know if Mouse Twitter has anything regarding that, but
We'll find out.
yeah. I don't know. I didn't really look over his arm sleeve compatibilities, but yeah, it boils down to the Surface still has problems with inconsistency. It's just not durable, which is crazy given it's a friggin' hard pad. And two, the disingenuous marketing with reviewers getting this full silicone base and not the 4 feet. So discussion questions here were, well, the first thing I had was like a sunk cost fallacy. So I don't know. After hearing Melon's review, this first paragraph reads a little bit differently to me. $40,000 in R&D sounds cool, especially for a friggin' mouse pad. It sounds like, but at the same time, brother, Final Mouse spent so much more than that. So to come out and like promote that as a reason why your product is good is, I don't want to say,
Differentiating because no one else does it, so it might catch people as like a big deal,
yeah,
even though it's not.
yeah, it does make it sound unique, right? It's made in the US,
Yeah.
yada yada. It's not just another factory in
However,
China with another weave. However, it does sound a little bit, well, we didn't really know what else to talk about, so throw this marketing thing in there. I don't know. Like if the product's good, it should kind of speak for itself. Um, I don't know,
who's using these small sizes?
bro.
I
I
guess
don't
people.
know. Office
Like,
office people? No, seriously, there are like you go on Amazon and you'll find like glass mouse pads that are teeny tiny and people use them at work and they're like, "Oh, it's great. I love glass."
every once in a while, people post like their tiny artisan pads. I'm like, oh, it's so cute. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Um so yeah, maybe they had a bit of a sunk cost fallacy and they stopped development at a certain point and they weren't able to figure out the surface longevity issues. So they just released the product. I mean, I work in manufacturing. That's how it goes. Sometimes you develop a product as far as you can. There's insurmountable things. You're up against deadlines. You have to release what you have.
One example would be the LGG mouse that they came out with. They had the exact problem when they released it, and they felt so bad about it that they like offered a bunch of stuff super cheap. Yeah. Just the factory didn't live up to standards, but the mouse was coming out, so it got released.
That's too bad.
The LA one.
So the other topic that I had here was, so Melon talks about he's like the only reviewer, I guess, who had negative things to say about this, and that's what blew up on Mouse Twitter, right? Somebody sent over the Viscose response. They was commending him for breaking out of the echo chamber that can be reviews, and I think that's incredibly important. I think I don't know, I do like Amazon Vine reviews. The other day I had a coat that the zipper broke on the third time I wore the coat, and it's because it was a cheap piece of crap zipper. And the coat can be great. If you can't, it's a heavy winter coat. We have like 8 inches of snow right now. If you can't zip it up, it's pretty useless.
Right.
So I went and updated my review because I don't want to be the guy who somebody buys it because they read a positive review and then they run into the same exact thing. It's kind of like your job as a reviewer. If you're out there projecting your voice, it's probably because you want it to be heard. Well, if you want to be heard, that has to be because you have genuine, important things to say. And regurgitating what other people have to say is not adding anything to the discussion.
For sure. I can understand people's desire to only be positive because I can tell you from my limited experience, the only 2 semi-negative to like lukewarm reviews that I did, they had the most dislikes easily. They had like a lower number of views. Like the ATKZ one, I didn't love it. And people were like, well, fine, I'm not going to watch this. Or YouTube didn't promote it. Who knows what. But that's crap. You need to give your opinion. It needs to be not necessarily raw and unfiltered, but like refined, but true. Like, let's not lie to people. Let's do thorough testing. I don't know.
Yeah. And this day and age too, there's discussions have mouse X, technology peaked, right? We're at the point where there's professionals using GPX1s that are from like, when did the Superlight come out? 2020, 2021? It's a 4-year-old mouse at this point.
Yeah.
And they perform totally fine. So like, have we hit a peak? So every single new time a new product comes out, people are trying to find a way to justify, oh, it's 3 grams lighter. It has this polling rate option, whatever. And the fact of the matter is that's not... The companies want you to buy their products, so they're going to market these things, but that doesn't necessarily make it a better product for every person.
No, I've seen people complain about like reviewers nitpicking small like defects on a mouse or small like inconsistencies, and it's like, well, I mean, there's so many mice and they're so good. What else are we going to talk about? I'm going to get down to the nitty gritty because you need something to differentiate this mouse from the next one. Also, that pad looks sick. The lock on root.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find. I'll try to find. Oh, was it this one? One of the comments was just very good. Okay, perfect. So here's a Matrova pad. I'll transition to this topic next, but would you buy this pad for $45? That's the real question from the rest of us. I'm sure this pad is fine just like most of the other pads out there these days, but would you pay $45 to grab one of these pads over something else that costs the same or a little bit extra? It's easy to say yes to this question. That's such a good question. We have so many good products. I could turn my camera and point at my wall of mice or you two underneath your desk, and they're all solid options. Yes, you might be able to be slightly better with this or that shape. Raw performance-wise, you're achieving 99% of your potential with any of those choices. So
I've watched a YouTube video of a professional golfer using children's clubs, and they still play amazing golf. Like it's the player more than the peripheral.
So I'm not opposed to, aim adapt style of, he always puts on a smile. He generally talks about products positively. If anything, just more matter of fact, but he won't outright like say this is the best mouse ever created, right? He'll always say this could be the best mouse for you. Little bit of leading question, but point is, he has his format, he does his shape comparisons, he leaves it up to the viewer, he provides the information, and the viewer decides if it's worth their money. Whereas, I don't know, if you're just an echo chamber who's constantly like, this is the newest version of a CERAPAD, this is the newest version of a glass pad, sorry, I'm looking at the that looks really good. You're always gonna like trying to push somebody towards something new that they don't necessarily need. Let them choose. So I want to transition to. Oh, go ahead.
I always have an outro at the end of my videos, and I try to not speak in absolutes because I'm not a Sith. Oh no, but actually, like, I'll give you my opinion, but like, you need to make your decision as well. Yeah, Aimadapp is actually like, I did have a thought at one point because I watched a string of his reviews where he was super super positive about everything, and I was like, is this guy just like fake and giving like all these opinions that are all not really opinions, they're just positive? But I mean, oddly enough, a video later he talked about how like he had seen some feedback like that, and he was gonna get down to the nitty gritty to make sure he really talked about all the like not perfect aspects of a mice, and he's been really good about like actually digging deep, and I respect that a lot. So
yeah. Yep.
I always watch his reviews, even a crap I'm not going to buy.
All right, so let's move on. Do you have anything else to say about Melon?
I don't typically watch his videos, but I watched this one.
Yeah, same. I've watched some of his disassemblies, but all right. So I want to talk about this other mousepad company that I recently interacted with because they're kind of cool. Matrova. I've never heard of them before. I guess they're based out of the UK. So there's a few reviews that have been popping up on r/mousereview. They're showing off the Breeze, which is a speed pad. It's a spandex pad. They say similar to a Raiden on their website. And they have a pink pad they call the Pink Storm. And this one is, I believe, inspired by Hayate Otsu. So they actually say this on their website. Matrova mouse. Oh, I had it right there. Matrova.
Brilliant marketing.
Yeah.
Smart move to just directly compare it to artisan pads that relates to people.
So I just love that their friggin' website. They have these pads here. I'll tell you guys why I think you should maybe care about them. First of all, they have like a really good no-nonsense approach. Look at this. So this is the Balance X, and we can see the Balance X right here. It uses a soft base that they call Star Flash. I think that's because of the... Yeah, I've seen this before on something. Whatever. It's like a Chinese Poron, right?
Mm-hmm.
They talk about the texture, field description similar to Zero, suitable. Okay, the suitable for games, that's BS. But I do like they say similar to Hayate Otsu. At one, oh, they didn't say. They used to say similar to Raiden on the Breeze. They changed that. Okay.
Huh.
Okay. Well, minus 1 point. So that's pretty cool that they offer these pads. But the coolest part is, in my opinion, they offer a custom solution. Oh yeah. By the way, these prices aren't bad. So 32. Oh, I could have sworn it. Okay, I thought it was 30 for either. Their shipping is $10 flat rate, but their real value, I think, is in their custom creator. This is cool. So you can pick your base. Okay, so I'll build, if I want, like, I'm really loving the Ruin that you gave me. It's a little bit too soft. So let's say I want a mid base and I want a speed surface similar to the Ruin, which is like a spandex. It's like a Raiden. You can you can have the logo put on or not, which, did we see the logo here? Yeah. So it's printed on. It's not like a raised plastic. It's dyed. Yep. So I'll say sure. And then you can pick a size. So they have a pretty decent size selection here. Here's the coolest part. I emailed them being like, hey, Laonda makes 600 by 500. Can you do that? Their CEO, Levi Lee, responded back to me immediately being like, yeah, just add the 500 to 500 by cart, put in your notes, and we'll give you the size increase at no upcharge. So take this. Now don't go. He emailed me, so you guys might want to check first before trying this yourself. But I just thought that was cool. These guys manufacture their own pads. So let's say I do that. So, oh, and then you get to pick your own color, which is pretty neat. And on top of that, you can even upload a picture. That's cool. Like Boardsy, all of his pictures for his mouse pads are AI generated. He doesn't hide that. So you could go and we could do that MouseCast podcast logo, which reminds me I forgot to put on the news. Oops. Right. That's okay. So yeah, you can have a fully custom pad for, once you add this to cart, it's going to be $36. And then, like I said, they have flat rate $10 shipping whether you buy 1 or 10 pads. So
if these pads are of decent quality, this should blow up because this is like crazy value and customization no one else is offering.
Yeah. You get to pick everything. Base, material, size, color. It does make me a little bit mad that they call 2 of their pads by color, or 3, Scarlet, Violet Mist, and Pink Storm, when you could technically go make a custom Breeze pad that is pink. the same shade.
And you make the pink storm black.
Yeah, you could do that too, exactly. So,
Unacceptable. I'm out.
yeah. So anyway, reviews so far have been like decent. I'm not going to promote them like super hard because I don't have one in hand, but you guys can look them up on Mousepad Review. All right, moving on. MCHOSE G7. Another G502 from MCHOSE.
It's like a G502. It looks kind of like a Model I as well from Glorious.
Mm-hmm. So that kind of ergo shape that's not, a tilt grip ergo.
Ergo long left side support for your thumb. Yeah.
Yeah. Side buttons look far back. I don't know. This popped up. It's one of their pre-order things where you pay a $2 deposit and you save $17 on launch.
I did because I'm a mouse reviewer.
Oh, really? You got one?
I didn't get one, but I pre-ordered it. Yeah, the Pro.
Okay. So how much is
We'll see what
shipping?
happens. Couldn't tell you.
Interesting. Yeah, like for me, that's one of the things that kills these websites. I just wait for them to come on Alley because shipping's going to be $10. I'm just going to wait for it to come to Alley.
I used my code and I paid $1.95 for my order.
Oh, really? Nice.
So stupid. Yeah, save 5 cents.
G7 Pro. So let's see. What were the takeaways from MCHOSE G7 Reddit? I could have sworn there were. Oh, it's on ELOSHAPES.
That's long. 129. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean they're measuring to the end of the clicks, which isn't really. Isn't one of the main appeals of the G502 that it had a crap ton of buttons? I'm not saying the shape doesn't have fans, but feels weird only having 2 side buttons. I do agree with that. That was one of my very first takes of this. I do think, dude, if you're a 3+ side button enjoyer, you're screwed this day and age. Like, what are your options? Seriously.
Become a normal person.
Keychron M7? Like, that's 3 side buttons, right? You really don't have a lot of choices. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like MCHOSE,
yeah,
they're great that they're copying shape after shape and making them cheap and usually pretty decent. But brother, give the homies a 3rd side button.
honestly, the Model I2 I would recommend if you need that many buttons. It wasn't bad when I had it.
Yeah, I had a review unit from Amazon also.
Like,
yeah, 4 side buttons.
I performed okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah, you really from my take of it, you really need to do like a palm grip, but not at all tilted. You really need to have like a pretty straight arm, which to me feels unnatural. But yeah, some people swear by it.
Yeah, my arm's at like a 45-degree angle on my mouse pad at all times. So
we didn't really talk about specs at all. 800 milliamp hour battery, 55 gram weight, 3395 and 3311 for the G7 and G7 Pro.
I mean, the battery size, as I stutter like crazy, definitely tells you who the mouse is targeted toward.
Yeah, their G3 is the same way. Yeah.
Yep.
55 grams though at 800 milliamp hours for how big of a mouse this is, dude. Yeah, you
really
swap that, that'll save you. I believe Repu, who uses an 800 milliamp hour, that's 14 grams. So you could shave 11 grams off of this by doing a battery swap.
I'm assuming I'm going to get this and it's going to be good. So MCHOSE has not disappointed me consistently.
Yeah, looks like mechanical switches. Wano 60 million. Which are not transparent blue shell pink dots. I think they're going to be transparent blue shell, another color dot, maybe blue dots.
The Ajazz mouse I just got is blue shell blue dot. They're very stiff.
Are they 60 million?
I think it was. No, I think it was. Hold on.
I'm just trying to identify them here with the 60 million. But yeah, this skate layout's a little bit weird. I guess it makes sense if you're pressing down with your thumb here. Their little infographic is interesting here. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate them putting a DPI button on the mouse because my friggin' Amber doesn't have one and software doesn't exist and the button combination doesn't work. They're saying plus or minus 2 grams. Oh, the 800 milliamp hour is 59 grams plus or minus 2. Yeah, that's more like going to be like a 50 gram mouse after you weight mod it. I'm not surprised. I thought that was kind of too good to be true. All right. TTC Silver.
Blue shell red dot is 60 million.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Whatever that is.
That's Yeah, good catch, because that's what the picture actually looks like they replicated. Wow.
Yep.
Brother, MCHOSE. Yeah, we'll come back to them. I did find this on their website. MCHOSE wireless mouse rolling accessory. This is you can get a different scroll wheel color, which is kind of cool.
That's funny.
Which, again, customization I'm all for, but on AliExpress the different scroll wheels are like $8. I'm glad that you can at least get a first party in a different color, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Sick.
Why not for $3? All right, moving on. Switch to Joycon. They show illustrations of mouse functionality in the patent. This is interesting. So we saw that in the, yeah, see this? They're like holding it like a mouse.
Oh, yeah.
We saw this in the teaser where they had the little Joy-Con zipping around with the little wrist strap acting as a tail to a mouse. And I don't know if they call out, maybe this is like a sensor here. So what does this mean? I don't know. I know, was it the Steam controller had like touchpads? So the idea was in like certain games it was like a lot easier to use compared to other games like top-down strategy games. It's so much easier to use a touchpad than it is to, joystick around and you're moving in this etch-a-sketch type fashion. So, being able to lift and swipe. So maybe they're onto
Does this
something.
match the use case of a Switch player though? Like, who's using their Switch at a desk? You're on the couch, right? You're in bed. You're on the go.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person, but this is a very good question to ask. I don't know, leave a comment down below, guys, if you can think of a good use case for this.
Like, I have a Steam Deck, and the last place I'm using that at is at my desk. I'm just gonna play on my PC. I mean, I guess not everybody has a PC, but like, interesting.
What's the discussion here say? I can already imagine having a third-party accessory makers coming up with a mouse case that holds the controller in place. Yeah, like a 3D printed thing.
Commented.
ELOSHAPES' first Nintendo product. Where's the sensor? I think it's number 170 in the last pick. Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking about too.
That tracks, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a stupid pun. Okay.
And then this was posted to, let's see what they actually, 7,000 upvotes here. Mario Maker 3 would go crazy with the mouse functionality. That's like a level building one, right? Can't wait to do some spreadsheets. Office 365 edition. Play the way you want to actually play your games rather than the 5 games using it. Yeah, so games will have to support it. I also showed this picture. I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I don't really have much else to say. Yep, 50. No, 170 is the sensor. Okay. Neato burrito.
Cool.
Moving on to... Let's go over some... no, not yet. Don't want to do mouse reviews.
Bicycle helmet, bionicle looking.
No, we'll do this one first. Nate Cirque. Dude, this guy. Sensor positions on ELOSHAPES now, guys, indicated with this little dot. Okay, if you don't know ELOSHAPES, why are you watching this podcast? Go check out ELOSHAPES. Go use his code if he helps you out, or use Dazz's. If Dazz's reviews help you out too. Who helps you out more though? That's really what you should answer.
It's not me.
Oh no. But Nate Cirque, I'm so glad that he's put so much effort into this. I randomly bought a Razer Taipan White off of eBay for
you're a mouse nerd when
$14. I randomly bought this because it was super cheap and it's an interesting looking shape, but it's a garbage sensor. And I was like, I also want to try the Crate, which is a smaller version of the Taipan. I wonder how much smaller the Crate is than the Taipan. So I go to ELOSHAPES, and this is before I saw the mouse post, the sensor position post, and I searched Crate. Boom, there's a dot for the sensor position of a Razer Crate 2013, totally irrelevant mouse. He went back and figured out the sensor position for it and put it in his database. And sure enough,
I like how the sensor positions show on the side view too. That's cool.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Very smart. And he talked about initially this feature wasn't feasible due to the large number of work required to update every mouse in the database. Updating over 900 mice. Yeah, it's nuts. Over 900, dude. But I thought he said he figured out a way to
Align mice by their sensor position and search the database based on the sensor position data.
Yeah, so you can, yeah, that's pretty cool. You can align based
That's
on
sick.
but he figured out a way to automate it was his huge thing. I just
Mhm.
don't remember how.
Yeah, I've recorded one review since this came out, and I immediately referenced it in my video. So thank you.
Yeah. But I even said I was randomly looking at the Razer Crate 2013 and you have the sensor for it already, you W2F, you madman. And he said, I've been spending most of my free time the past 2 weeks going through all the mice in the database to ensure as many mice as possible get their sensor position included. Yeah, this guy doesn't do this full time either, guys. Like, I wonder how much revenue he gets from his affiliate codes. And he also
Hopefully a lot.
has, yeah, he also has his ad banners on there that he makes himself. I don't know. What a genuinely good guy who's like, I think we talked about this in the past. If this was a passion project, like most passion projects, it would have fizzled out at mouse number 39. I really hope MouseCast makes it to episode 39. But the fact that he's done it for 900 mice, he just keeps going, means he's a nerd for it. Not just for mice, but also for like maintaining a resource for the community. Mad respect, dude. Do you have anything else to say on it?
Nope.
Okay. So y'all, another mouse. Yeah, okay, let's go over to mouse releases then. There's 2 mouse releases we can sort of releases we can talk about other than the MCHOSE, this bicycle helmet
It's like
mouse.
a grenade.
It does
A
look like a
bicycle.
grenade. Yeah, just rip the button out, rip the scroll wheel out.
Yep, there's the pin. Yep.
Bicycle helmet mouse, 47
Kind of
grams.
like a sandwich.
Yeah. You guys asked for new shapes, so better appreciate whatever the F this is. That's actually really funny. I think the keyboard mouse from Lofree is is better than this. Oh, brother. I thought, wasn't this teased a while back as like a modular mouse?
It's something that says, there was a comment if you read the next one that says it's a modular G303, I think.
Modular G303 at 47 grams.
Yeah.
Okay, I also wouldn't trust this dude's take. G303, and this is your bait. I don't know, brother.
Mm.
I don't want to make shape comparisons without giving the in-hand feel. But hey, modular mice, I'm glad that somebody else is doing it. I mean, that's great. Orbital's Pathfinder is super cool. Orbital Pathfinder finger. Pathfinger.
Orbital Pathfinger.
Yeah, this is another modular mouse that's in development. It's supposed to release, I believe, this year. Cool. I do think this
looks
is
so dumb.
it can look
But
really
it's also
dumb.
very cool.
Yeah. But I think modular mice are gonna have a place in the market. Not a very big place, but they'll have a place. I don't know. The bicycle helmet was really funny though. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Would you pick one of these up? Let's say, would you pick one of these up? Would you buy it for, let's say, AliExpress early bird deal? You can get it for $25. Would you buy it and review it?
I'd probably go up to 40.
Really? Okay, that interesting.
Yeah, I like it get clicks.
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I personally like just don't care. But I should because it's different. But instead, I'll just take another generic Ambi
Shut up and
mouse.
take your China clones, Pwnage. God. All
That's so,
credibility lost.
that's so quotable, dude. That was so good. All right. All right. I think that's all we have to say on the bicycle mouse. We're blitzing through this, dude. We're only 34 minutes in. That's fine.
Next up, a stupid fingertip mouse I'm not going to use. But I appreciate Pulsar for making it. It's
Yeah.
the X2F.
X2F, like you said.
Sound like I was introing a video there. Anyway.
Carbon composite mouse. It's like a 60-40 blend of 60% carbon fiber chop, whatever, and then 40% blend of polycarbonate and I think other plastics. Fresh Reviews did a video review on it.
It's the least dumb looking fingertip mouse I've ever seen, so props to them for that. They
Yeah.
keep trying stuff. I think it's too
do-
heavy, I want to say. I read somewhere, like 40 grams or something.
He said, yeah, 40 to 42
It's
grams.
too much.
That's interesting. He said though that it's like really solidly built. I don't know. I don't know
Our
if
crazy lights are lighter.
Yes.
I but this needs more structural integrity.
I don't want to say it's like
I
too
don't know.
heavy. Yeah, I don't want to say it's too heavy because we're
Well,
like
that's a new glass
really
pad from
bougie.
TechieSci. Nice.
Hmm. So I should actually turn on captions here, then you guys can maybe get a glimpse of what he said. You haven't seen this video, right?
Nah.
Okay. I'll try to remember. I'll try to go over what I remember. He
Probably sub
talked.
to him.
He's good.
Get on
A
that.
little
Yeah.
bit long-winded, but he's also a pretty talented player mechanically. He talked about the clicks being mechanical switches and some of the best implemented switches he's ever seen. I remember Pulsar had like a picture of, you could see it used like a pivot mechanism, like on a pin, similar to like the Logitech G900 used. G900 mouse.
What switch is it?
Mechanical. I think he said Huano transparent blue shell pink dot 80 million.
Good choice. Yeah.
Oh, this doesn't show it. Pivot? Pivot? Pivot?
Pivot.
It's not gonna... That's pretty good. It doesn't show it, but in here, there's actually a metal pin, and the button rides on this pin rather than being like a bendy, flexy piece. It's actually on a... Yeah. So the clicks feel really crisp. He talked about that. He talked about the composite feeling really good, like it's not slippery. He said it's super strong. He said he thought it was like a metal mouse. It's just like no, it just has no give. So carbon fiber will give that effect. It's very, very rigid, right? When carbon fiber breaks, it snaps very explosively, kind of like glass, right? Glass is a very hard but very brittle substance. It's the same way.
That's how my F1 Pro felt. The black F1 Pro I had.
Hmm.
Really, really good.
Yeah, polycarbonate is the same
Mice
way.
can feel like a brick in a good way.
So they call it an X2F. I wonder how much of it actually shares with an X2. I guess I didn't watch that. I don't know. He has this timestamp that's just called a closer look, and it's like 8 minutes long.
That bothers me.
But the flare. Okay, give us a closer look. Actually, can you zoom in? The flare that it has towards the pinkies. That's unique for a fingertip. So the X2 is a pretty flat. I don't have one here. It's a pretty flat feeling mouse, right, on the sides.
Yeah. Me getting one's not going to help too much. I could, but
Yeah, this makes me think there's a little bit more of a pinky support. Yeah, I think that's unique. I think this like open aesthetic is interesting. They have two options. They can go more closed off like a G-Wolves, even though they have hexagons up the wazoo, or you can do very experimental looking like a Blade Optimum mouse, Zero mouse. And they did kind of an in-between. I believe we saw at some point on the pod, they had like this plate could be popped off, and that was then, I had the theory, maybe that's customizable.
all right, here's a question. Looking down at fresh reviews angle, do you like top-down reviews or side cam reviews?
I don't really care, you just have to show off the product. If you're just always showing
Okay.
one angle of the product, I'm going to get annoyed. I want to see the bottom, I want to see the sides, because sometimes product photos online just aren't good.
I feel like the side view does that better because you typically get closer with it because people tend to show their whole mouse pad from the top. So I typically prefer side, but I also just watch Boardsy first in mouse reviews. So, and I also use that camera
Yeah.
angle. So
I think as long as you're just showing the subject matter off. Yeah, like I'm not going to be back here like, hey guys, look at my mouse that I'm
fair
Yeah.
enough.
Anyway, honestly, I didn't watch the whole video. The Pulsar signature cross at the bottom is interesting. It's labeled Pulsar Labs. He said it's a beta test too. He was like selected as a beta reviewer. So this is not, I think that's smart. Fingertip mice, there's not a big market for. I think that's wise of Pulsar. Because, if this, Pulsar has to decide if they're going to release a mouse, there's going to be like 38 SKUs for it because there's going to be different colors, different sizes, different whatever. Yeah.
Fun fact: this is the subject of my highest upvoted mouse review post ever because I just reposted their tweet about it when it came out.
Really,
when it was
this?
announced. Yeah. X2F, yeah.
Interesting.
And then people in the comments were like, "I'm not going to use it," and I was like, "Me either," but I got upvotes, so cool.
Yeah. All right. You guys should go check out Fresh Reviews. Watch his take because we probably spent longer talking about it than his video. Yeah, I probably should just go and watch this. All right. I think that's it for news. I'm sorry. This
Pick up
week's
the pace.
episode is a little bit unhinged. There wasn't a lot of good news, was there?
So we just picked some random crap and we're about to talk about it. Here we go.
Yeah. So Reddit recap. let's look at this AK-47 mouse titled Logitech G502 converted into clone hero controller.
From
First
Big
of all-
Educator 2682. First you had big
Big educator.
big oil, big water, big educator.
Okay, hey, that's what I said. Okay, so Dazz and I talked about this. So look at this, right in the grip here for this AK. He's using keyboard. I should zoom in here. He's using keyboard Romer G Logitech mechanical switches. So, and he's putting them into the grip here. So that's like a Guitar Hero neck.
Yeah.
And what else he has here? He put a bunch of the wires into the buttstock, which I just absolutely love here. First of all, he like hacked this open willy-nilly, but then he wants to conceal it back nicely, so he put it on hinges, which are, by the way, outside mounted, not inside. So when you close this, you're gonna see these hinges bolted on, and
A
then
lot of
he used,
conflicting interests here.
and then he used a friggin' window latch. I love it, a brass window latch. He just drills. He just drills into the side for the cables, and he takes a picture of it like he's proud. Oh man, the fire selector switch. I guess he has something that's gonna go in there. That's usually on the AK. It's a little lever for full auto and semi-auto, and then G502 PCB. So he's running those wires back to this and controlling it with this somehow, and then probably an internal battery. So I love how it's just he took pictures of like the most trashy things of it and not the like interesting stuff. I don't know. I guess this was interesting. IDK what this is, but it is amazing. It looks amazing. IDK what this is or what it's used for, but damn. And then Clone Hero, this guy is essentially a Guitar Hero with tons of custom songs and mods. He made a guitar controller out of an Airsoft AK-47. Okay.
I played Clone Hero. Yeah, it's great.
And then Paul Vincent, who usually has super short takes. This one's actually funny. Wow, amazing. Now we rush B. I just love that. I don't know. I felt like I had something else to say on this.
Oh well. Next.
Maybe that is all there is all to say. Okay, next.
When in doubt, yawn.
MCHOSE, please make a G303 dataless Apex clone. All caps. Daddy clone. Please make a clone of my dad. So MCHOSE,
It's just got weird.
they just
All right.
released the G7, right, which is a G502. They have the L7.
GPX, U2, X2 Mini. And I'm forgetting one that I've reviewed. I don't know.
Yeah.
M7, A7, L7.
You
G3.
talked about U2. Yeah. Anyway, so MCHOSE, they are clone champs. Okay, they are clone champs. What do you want to see them clone next?
XM2.
XM2. Heck yeah. So we have the W Mouse Strider, but according to Boardsy's review, it's okay. It's just $150.
It's not tapered quite as much. $150. Side holes. Can we not?
Yeah. So I am with Boardsy on that one. It would be a different discussion if that WL mouse was $70, but it is not. I mean, this guy is begging for MCHOSE to give him a G303 dataless Apex with MCHOSE L7 Ultra internals. Make it lightweight. It will get a bestseller, I promise you. I don't agree with this take. I don't think a G303. I think the people who love that shape has fallen out of favor. You even see this with, brother, the G703 hype with the Tevolution Terra, and more importantly, the Pulsar X3.
That's what I was going to say. G703 is a top suggestion. Yeah.
It's a top suggestion, and how well is this selling? I don't know. You don't hear about it on Mouse Market anymore. Maybe that's just because all of our attention spans are nothing. But
I continue to be the most negative person in the world about it. I'll see every post I see on Mouse Reviews like, this is great. And I just shut up because if I commented, I would get voted into oblivion. The mouse stinks. Anyway.
yeah. So.
What else can we clone? Zowie shapes? MCHOSE should attack more Zowie shapes.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
S2, Z18.
Yeah, FK. I'm a big advocate for more FK clones. We don't have enough like really flat mice. That's something that everybody thinks like, oh, if you need a fingertip mouse, you need to go make it 8 millimeters long. No, just make it really flat. Still give yourself enough curvature for your fingers and your pinky and ring finger and stuff. Just make it really flat and you'll get a nice fingertip shape. Like the best solution right now, which is not a bad one, Razer Viper V2, my bastardized one that I just dropped the dongle out of.
Is that the PUBG one?
Yep. So great choice. for a FK2 replacement, but there is nothing that has been a direct FK replacement. And it's funny because the FK was like Zowie FK. Like the very
Slated
first
for a while, right?
Yeah, the very first Zowie mice were the EC, the FK, and the AM. Zowie AM. Do you know what the Zowie AM is?
I tried the Xi PM, but not the AM. What a
PM?
hump! Wow.
Yeah,
What? Stupid time joke.
Oh.
Anyway.
The AM was a IntelliMouse.
Oh, someone just posted one of those on Mouse Market. It's funny.
Oh, it's not showing it here. Anyway, yeah, it was a Microsoft IntelliMouse. Not clone, but inspired shape. Yep. Zowie AM. Yeah, but the FK. OG shape, and not really people don't really talk about it. I don't know. People are all about back humps with the ZA series nowadays, so, and Soras, that kind of thing. Sure. All right. This was a topic you added. We're going to r/PC Master Race, guys. We're scraping the bottom barrel.
What? Explain
this, Daz. What can you buy here?
You can get a refrigerator, which is apparently very expensive. You can outfit your whole kitchen with new appliances and pick up a 5090 Founders Edition while you're at it for the low price of $11,559.96.
Do we know if you were to piece this out? Okay, wait. For those people who don't know, because you're too busy aim training or playing CSGO, the new RTX 5000 series came out. Reviews are mixed because it's technically a small bump in performance, but the costs are high, made worse by scalpers. I saw one RTX 5090. I think Linus Tech Tips was showing them on his podcast. Dude, they were selling for MSRP is $2,000. Okay, $2,000. It's a little bit faster than a 4090, which is MSRP of $1,600. These are selling for like $4,000 on eBay. Selling. Let's just go to eBay. So do you know how much, if you were to piece apart your Frigidaire bundle here, how much they're actually quote unquote charging for that 5090 there?
That I'm not sure about. I'm trying to find out.
Brother, no way. RTX 5090s sold for, there's no way this sold for $6,900. What a mean price even. $5,000? What do you do for a living where you just like can just YOLO $5,000 on something that's, oh my gosh. Bro, I wish I was that privileged.
These comments are gold on this post. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so what are the comments saying here? Hey honey, did you know Best Buy had a deal on new appliances? I'm waiting for the
Porsche GT3
and 5090 bundle. Yeah, seriously. GPU cooling has reached a new high. Stupid. Seems 5090 has become a household appliance. So Best Buy, I wonder why they're doing this. I wonder if this is simply a way for them to like jack up the price and kind of mask it behind a bundle.
2026, 30. It's like $3,200 worth of appliances if this person priced it out correctly.
No.
Meaning the RTX 90 would come in at $8,500 in this bundle. Is that real? Is this a joke? Maybe this is a Photoshop. I don't know.
Well, I'm reading. Are you reading the same comment from Demon who says?
Yeah. The next one says, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Please tell me this is Photoshopped.
What a joke. What an absolute joke.
Is this just a joke post in general? Have we been?
I don't know. 16,000 upvotes, maybe. But I don't know. They're selling for $6,000 on eBay. I don't know, guys. Don't buy a scalper's card. That's how you stop the scalpers from scalping. You just don't buy them. It's supply and demand.
I wish this was real and had 414 ratings on this bundle. That'd be so good. That's probably to tell it it's photoshopped, but
I don't know. There's also some ways that websites bundle reviews. Like that might be a bunch of different
auto-generated bundle.
Yeah,
it could be.
All right. One last thing. Good guy Gaben.
Good guy Gaben. Yeah.
What did Gaben do for us? Massive Valve W. Finds out games.
This must be becoming more prevalent than we thought. Yeah, forcing in-game ads to be watched.
Okay.
And they were like, "No, screw that."
So they banned developers from doing in-game ads. Refuses to elaborate further. Leaves. Okay. Do you have a news article for this?
I don't actually know, just the Reddit post.
Okay.
It was all over the internet when it happened. People were very, very happy about it.
Yeah. I don't know. Steam can be pretty cool
I'm assuming
sometimes. Sure.
gotcha games must have been throwing ads in your faces, but I
Yeah.
don't know. People seem to hate on Steam because it is just like a monopoly to some extent. But there have been more like platforms like Epic Games that do carry a lot of the games these days. But I mean, we all just go to Steam, and how convenient is that? Like,
I agree. Yeah. I don't know. What's your take on ads in game? Have you played any games with in-game ads? And what's your take?
one's not coming to mind. I mean, like mobile games have it all the time, right? Just to get to your game, you have to have that. So like, any move on this was going to make people happy because they've been inundated with ads in every aspect of their lives because that's how people have to make money these days. But
Yep. So Steam has banned games that utilize paid advertising as a business model in their game, such as requiring players to watch or otherwise engage with advertising in order to play, or gating gameplay behind advertising. So what do you think? What do you think Steam is getting out of this here? Um, Maybe it's as simple as they want to stay a top quality platform, and they have the force because they're so dominant, like you said, to mandate this kind of developer business decisions. Because yeah, okay, what if you are? My wife plays, Pocket Planes or whatever, which relies on mobile ads. You
cookie
you
clicker,
you
yeah.
do enough, and then it makes you watch an ad for 30 seconds. What if there's one of those developers who has a legitimately fun game who wants to port it over to desktop for whatever reason, and now they can't? I don't know.
Sounds like Steam doesn't want that to be on their platform, and they have enough
Yeah.
money that they can make a move like this. And
They simply want to be and they also, this is also a financial decision. Obviously they don't just ignore a huge bag of money because
yeah,
um, they probably have weighed the pros and the cons, the amount of revenue that they would get from having these mobile games, but then also the way those mobile games would clutter up their store. Not worth it, I guess.
yeah, you don't want like the hardcore gamers going on Steam and seeing like cookie clicker number 3 on the charts because it popped up on Steam and everybody downloaded it. So that's probably what it is. Yeah.
This article from MSN goes on to be clear, the ban only applies to games that force players to watch ads before continuing or offer them in-game incentives such as virtual currency for watching ads. Other
There
types
must
of
be more mobile games that popped up than we realized. Yeah.
other types of advertising are still allowed. So that includes product placements. Okay, so that was going to be one of my takes. Is I was joking with you about Call of Duty and their unicorn farting skins. Well, what if there's some um, Dorito Max Mountain Dew skin in the next Call of Duty that is product placement? Like personally, I like the skins are already so egregious in the game. Sure, why not?
Go for it.
Um, people walk around with T-shirts that say Hollister or Abercrombie. You're choosing to be a billboard. So I don't. If people want to pay for that, I don't think it's harming other players. Obviously, if it's pay to win, then that's dumb. But that's a different discussion. Yeah, they simply say Steam games are still allowed to include real world products as long as they're, quote, not disruptive and are not inappropriate within the context of the game. That's nice. That's a little bit open ended, right? Because we've seen before racing games will have real billboards with real ads on them that change. Sure. If the ad is like something, I don't know. I do okay, you're playing a racing game, so let's say it's an actual ad for, so you're a racing nerd, maybe you're into cars, so you see an ad that's actually for like TireRack.com for tire sales or whatever. Sure, why not? Like
I actually feel more immersed in that situation, and I'm not going to buy because of it, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, right. I mean, you're focused on the game anyway. But if it is like like very inappropriate adult themes while you're like playing a racing game, and you're like, brother, why am I in my
You're just like,
game?
what? Crash. Yeah.
Yeah, or even something like McDonald's or something that's like food commercials. The food always looks so good. If you're hungry, don't watch food
Stop.
commercials.
I am hungry. Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool. Good guy, Gaben.
Yeah.
Praise be. All right. Let's move on to the Last thing, last segment, personal ramblings. Change the logo. There we go. Back to the MouseCast logo. All right, Daz, you have YouTube updates.
Yep, talk about it quick because no one cares. All right. I was just browsing Reddit and then like I got a notification and I was like, oh, what's this? So if you click on that little link there, someone
Yeah.
just like randomly called out my video and recommended it on a post because it was exactly what the post
Oh,
was.
cool. From Horace
And
Morris.
that was really cool. Yeah. And then the guy who posted this, Exalted Garlic, I ran across him on another post later and he posted a link to my video there too. So I thought
Brother.
that was really cool. Just
Getting
organic.
Oh, God, I don't want to. Getting some real cross posts, some real engagement. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That was just surprising.
Organic. Huh.
Exactly. I posted a real short mouse, or I posted a short that stole your mouse storage solution.
Yeah.
But
Let's take a look at that because I think
yeah, we'll have to check it
I
out.
don't believe like more people need to. Bro, you're over 300 subscribers. Incredible. Would it be
Shorts right there.
Shorts, derp.
Yep. I hate this short because I shot it with my phone, so the mic quality is buns. But
It's okay. I think that's like accepted as short content. You have the
Also-
click-through
yeah.
rate improving captions, so
It's the first short that has an average watch time of over 100. It's 130% is the average watch time on this. So like people who do watch it are like, oh, that's interesting. What is that?
wait, 130%. So they go back and rewatch it.
It just plays again and goes through the first third of the video one more time on
Bro.
average, which is insane. Like,
I'm just gonna put my phone on loop. I'm just gonna plug it in
thank
overnight.
you. Yeah. What it is one dude forgot to turn it off and it just watched it a billion times and played it. Yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
so what's your I guess summarize this, and is there anything you didn't say in the video that you want to say on the pod about it?
It's just the calculator holders, basically, that you can get. Classroom calculator holder. I paid $15 on Amazon for this. I could have waited for a sale, but I needed mouse storage now. You were over here. You saw it. It was bad. Yeah, it's 36 mice. You can store up to that. That's more than the average person would need. I'm going to probably outgrow that soon because I have a problem, but it took me a little bit to find one that was like either translucent or white background just so I could see the mice.
Yeah.
The fun part about this is this room is in flux and it will change as we move and finish our basement. So this is attached to the bottom of my standing desk, which I go up and down on often. So when I want to sit down at my desk, I grab the bottom of the mouse storage and hold it while the desk goes down. Often in meetings. So that's just ridiculous. But
Yep. I know the one recommendation I had is if you guys get one that is not a black background, because otherwise your black mice will disappear. Get one with transparent pockets too.
yep, and I mentioned that. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Yep, I have ones that
well.
Yeah, I have ones that are gray like this, but 36 pockets. Yep. And you can hang them over your door. They'll come with these door hangers because that's usually how they're used in a classroom as kids enter and leave the classroom. Highly recommend it. I don't know. I remember posting this. Somebody posted to Mouse Review like Mouse Review storage ideas, and it like didn't get.
I thought it would pop off.
Oh, bro, this is 2 years ago, brother.
Gen 3D Tech.
Gen 3D Tech beat us to it. Dang, his
Okay.
looks clean. Oh my gosh, look at all the black and white mice. I'm so glad I avoid black and white. Oh, that is so boring.
It
Dude,
is.
this guy's a homie though. He's been active
He's
in
cool.
the scene for a long time. Have you ever talked to him?
Yep. Not directly, but yeah, I like his posts. He's a good Twitter follow as well, actually.
Like,
I'll
I know.
never say X.
I know. Like people will do this. That's great and all, but I'm a consumerist.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. What does this guy do? Are these like 3D printed doodads or shoe things? I don't know.
He took the logos and like the Zowie logos on the end of that one, the Razer
That's
logos on
cute.
the end of the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a Zowie logo that's been in my Subaru Forester since like 2017 when I first bought the car.
Nice.
Yeah. Remember this thread I got flamed on because this dude was an idiot or whatever. Oh, yeah. I said you can't beat $10 to store 36 mice. And he's like, bro, I only have 2 mice and 2 IMs. Watching jewelry
Your
boxes,
picture
give me
shows
3.
32?
And I was like, your picture shows 32.
What? Yeah,
And then,
exactly.
yeah, and then he goes back and does he say something else? I took these pictures from the IEM Reddit, never claimed them to be mine. I don't even think I downvoted him. Downvoting for what, you loser? Yeah, I remember I did not downvote this guy.
He
Like,
got
brother.
roasted.
Anyway, people are silly. Oh, I got downvoted today very mildly, but not yeah, it's not
While
even
you're
worth
finding
talking
that
about.
tip, if you're getting downvoted on a post, don't comment again. You will just get downvoted into oblivion.
Yeah, don't try to.
You
Or
can't
if
save
you do
yourself.
comment again, just own up to your mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you get downvoted on?
Oh, it actually was. Is it even worth discussing? Sure. Well, hang on. Do we pacing uploads? Let's finish your YouTube stuff.
Oh yeah. So I haven't uploaded a video in like 7 or 8 days now, and that's been fine. People are still watching my videos. My channel did not explode. Subs are still rolling in. The world continues to turn.
Beautiful.
So yeah, I'm learning. And then also like it's been slowed down because I want to review the A950 Air, but I wanted some mice to compare to it, and they took time to get here with tariffs and China shipping. So
So you are doing a full A950 Air review?
yep. Well, there is not one on the internet that's in English yet, so I'm gonna do it.
Thank you. Yeah. I definitely would have appreciated that, but I went and bought one myself. So yeah, I think I
And
just
it's not going to be given away.
It's not.
No. First person US took the X3, second person India. Not shipping there, so it will remain with me.
Okay. Are you gonna pick a new winner for the second? No, already.
No, I'm
been.
still giving out a prize to second place, so like there comes a point where I can't just keep giving stuff out, you know.
Gotcha. Oh, wait. Okay. I guess I'm a little confused, but
So if you were non-US, $40 to LGG.
oh,
If you join the
right.
Discord, bonus 15. This person
That's
joined
right.
the Discord. Congratulations, $55 to LGG.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That was very nice of you. Wow. Cool. Well, then you get to do the full review. Yeah, I do think it's better than the Amber. You might prefer the Amber just because of the squishy buttons on the A950.
Oh, right.
But
I mean, the A950 is just not a shape for me, but I felt like it was a mouse people needed because people like the ULX medium shape, and that's close to what it is. So,
okay. Do you feel like if you could go back in time, you would have done a different upload cadence so you don't feel so burned out, or are you happy with what you produced?
I'm happy because now it's just sustaining itself. Like, there are 9 videos that average over 100 views every 2 days, and it's just like kind of rolling. So, like, there's a library built up of like videos for people to reference. And because of that, I now feel less pressure and I can sleep. So, and not be up to 1 a.m. every other night making a video. Also, man, do I want to re-review some of those mice of the crappy old videos before I like switched my camera. And the ManPhalanges is the most viewed by, wow, I got 200 views in the last 2 days, by a lot, but it's like a far away camera angle. It's on a webcam. The mic quality is not as good. It's like the condenser mic, not a dynamic.
Yeah, I don't know.
People watch it like it though.
I think re-reviews make sense if, say, times have changed and it's an old product and you're comparing it against what's the newest, latest, and greatest. Like, I mean,
if your opinion changed or if like you found a flaw and you want to continue to be transparent and update
Sure.
people, then yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything
And
else?
these old cameras, the camera didn't focus on the mice here. It showed the whole desk. Anyway, yeah.
I still think it's very digestible. You have the products front and center. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving on.
Okay. So this is a mouse that I just received in today, and you just received a mouse today too that I think it's not in the doc, but we should probably mention it, sure. But the Amber 35.8, or actually 38.2, don't name a product after a weight. Yeah, this mouse is actually decent. I paid only like $28 for it. See, we got all the way back here. Yeah, I only paid $28 for this, and it's worth it for that, but I'm not going to say it's like perfect. I still prefer the Dare You A950 Air. So I'll talk about what I like about the mouse. First of all, the shape. It's a pretty decent shape. It feels like an Attack Shark R2, but shifted forward, like the hip flare and everything here. Just shift it forward. That's a lot like what this feels like. The hump is centralized, and it's a pretty small mouse overall. So you're not really going to be doing a whole lot of claw action with your palm anyway. So the shape's good. Comfort grooves in the buttons that you don't have to fully extend your fingers to reach. They actually come up pretty high. Side button placement's pretty good. Where your thumb goes, is right below the side buttons. Sensors right in line, slightly forward biased. What else did I like about it? Middle mouse is really nice. And the skates it comes with are decent. I don't have them on. What I didn't like, first of all, my 2 front screws were loose, making my click feel pretty terrible. Tightened them, fixed it right up. They're a little hollow sounding, still good mechanical switches. Second thing, the skates are like kind of small relative to the base. So if you're a person who tilts a lot, you're going to kind of have an unstable, unplanted feel. Third thing, build quality. Build quality is actually pretty solid on the sides. Even if you squeeze, like the Daryu didn't do too well when you squeeze towards the front, this does
I'm
very well.
smiling because I know what's coming. Sorry.
Even the back hump's pretty good. The bottom has some flex. Not that it's a problem. But the top middle, brother. Oh my gosh.
Is it made of rubber? Oh, that's rough.
Dude, it's
just
bad.
the worst I've ever seen.
It's really bad. Oh my
You
gosh.
should smash this mouse into the Ala SC800 and just make a combo crap mouse.
But the thing is, I mean, it comes back to its shape. So, although I do think I might have. Anyway. The side buttons, they are nice and light. I wouldn't say they're spammable because they're kind of too light almost. So they don't have the best rebound, but they have a fair bit of play. This is a little cheap feeling. And the coating, there's no coating. It's smooth texture plastic. It's super slippery.
That's my biggest pet peeve.
So bottom line is, $30, is it a buy? Yeah. It's better than, I don't know, name another $30 mouse. I don't know. But at $40, is it a buy? No. I would take Daryu A950 Air over it. Or if you're okay with a larger mouse, Mad Lions Mad G Max. Mad G.
I mean, you're in the R1 range at that point. Like, you can get a Mad R at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. Get a Mad R, get a Mad G. Yeah. And that's actually something I forgot to mention. The Mad G and the Amber, the Amber feels like a mini Mad G. Just the way that the sides aren't, it's not an aggressive Lamzu taper. It's not a super hourglassy Razor Viper.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the hump is centralized. It's like a miniature Mad G. It is actually a decent shape. So.
Yeah, I picked up an Ajazz AJ179 V2, the dumbest naming scheme you've heard in your life.
Yeah, let me go bring up a picture of that. Oh, if just anyone cares, go check out this Reddit post with the weights.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Ajazz AJ179 V2. We talked about this last time on the pod.
Yep, it's a Dex clone. We're more sure about that now that I've seen it in my hand. I have a Dex coming to compare in the video because that's how I operate. I need to have it. It's got the blue shell blue dots, which I've never used before. They're heavier than the one I like. My main concern, which you'll hear in a short, if you happen to watch that, I'm going to drop tomorrow, is the 3311 sensor, which has been not great so far, but I've only tested it on one pad for like 5 minutes, so we'll see what comes of it. You see there, the green shell white dots come in the Pro Max version, which is just heavier, so I decided, why would I get that? Let's try some new switches out. There's no coating. The side buttons are basically like to the moon. Oops, there it is. That top side button is the highest I've ever seen a side button on a mouse. Like,
they literally put it at the crown, at the apex.
Let me show you my grip.
That's bad.
How am I supposed to access the front button?
Yeah. You also are gripping like really far back.
My thumb's really far back. If you grip it normally, like, it's more accessible, but it's still super high on both of those buttons.
Yeah. So for the GPX doubters, if this is GPX Dex, can you show us the bottom?
Yep. Let me drop it first, though.
Yeah. Brother, that is a Dex. It has that wide kick out on the right side for the hip flare. The skates actually look nice and rounded. I mean, yeah, they're the black Teflon, but
they're more similar, I would say, to like MCHOSE AX5, which I liked. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, like, still have not been impressed by black PTV, but they're not bad.
Okay. Nice.
Let me test my theory real quick.
So, other than
they're a little scratchy on a smooth pad, so they're not like the highest. I wonder if that's like the mouse's bottom. Anyway.
Okay. So other than
I'll
the
dig into that.
sensor issue, how would you rate the mouse otherwise compared to other $20 mice?
Yeah, pretty good. The clicks are responsive. The side buttons, you can sync them in, but like they're spammable otherwise if you're not trying to do that. The scroll wheel is a little later on the steps than I'd like. I'm just reviewing the mouse at this point.
That's fine. This is
What I would look for a $40 Pro version of this mouse with a 3395 and like a decent coating, and then that would be like a massive win.
okay.
So
Yeah, that's interesting. It's
even 50, I mean, we're talking the Dex is $160 retail. It's
I know.
ridiculous. Like, so you can up the price on this if you're Ajazz and make it pretty good, and you would still sell it.
yeah.
I'm wondering if who's going to run across this video when I make it, because the name is so incredibly dumb, because the 179 was a Thorin clone. So like, why call this the V2?
Yep, agreed.
Just give it a name. This is why I didn't go with the Pro Max. I didn't want 7 grams of having to swap a battery out for a different switch.
Yeah.
There you go, blue shell, blue dot, which I didn't know existed until yesterday.
Yep.
To green shell, white dot.
Yeah, so the 3311, from my experience, I've had issues on a few pads with it.
I'm gonna try a bunch of different pads. Yeah, the house pad is a unique, slippery, prone to showing hair. It's a kind of pad. I'm gonna randomly go on a tangent here.
Yeah.
If my rubber like wedding ring rubs across it, you can see a line left on it. The black house pad. So like, that's something I've only really noticed on like a Glorious Ice, which is a coated pad.
Mhm.
I've wanted to try this pad for a while, and I performed very well on it. In very limited testing. It like has good stopping power, but it has a very nice smooth glide. It actually is like, it is similar to like the nylon, I guess you would call them pads, or like, but it's not quite as slick as like an Infinite Speed. But yeah, I don't know. I like it. I wouldn't call it a speed pad, which it kind of is called. I don't know if it says speed pad here. It's like a, let's see, the mouse pad is created with a focus on both control and speed. That's a great way to talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The weave is really, really tight. It's really good.
And you got this from Mouse Market?
Yep. What did I pay? I don't know. 25?
450 by
30.
450?
Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't think they've ever actually made a 500 by 500 pad and sold it. They always mention it, but I've never seen one for sale.
Okay.
Also, come back to us, House Gaming. I miss your videos.
I know, dude. Yeah, he even used to have a podcast too.
Yeah. I'm sure he has his reasons and he's doing well elsewhere, but I miss listening to him talk about mice.
Okay. I don't really want to, I'm not really going to talk about this. I've geeked out about like forging and manufacturing and stuff before, but just that Pwnage, isn't this cool that Pwnage like gave us this video? Like they didn't have to do this. This is all staged because none of this crap is done in this dark of a room.
Yeah.
They brought in their studio lights and stuff to give this cool like midnight vibe aesthetic feel.
Darth Vader's helmet there. Yeah.
Yeah. Good catch. Yeah. Anyway, it's just cool when companies, I think, show some of the behind the scenes stuff because a lot of us take things for granted.
Pwnage had that chart that gave all the details and like to streamers and how to talk about their mice. Pwnage is awesome.
Reviewer's guide, yeah. That's a very professional thing to do. Yeah.
I've still never tried one of their mice, but I would like to.
Yeah. And then one thing that, they do laser etch that on there. They do also have the, I don't have it. Where's the bloodline Pwnage?
The one you noticed last week before it was actually a thing.
I know. I'm not going to be able to find it in our video, but yeah, they're releasing some bloodline. Back to, what did they say? Back to magnesium alloy or something they said. 49 grams, sure. I don't really care. But yeah, they did show in their little lucky box thing that you could spin the prizes on. They did have Stormbreaker bloodline on there, and they had a teeny tiny, 80 pixel by 80 pixel image. It was black with red accents. Looked very good.
Oh yeah, great.
Yeah. Okay. Last thing then is do mouse. Okay, sure. This is probably the most discussion that we're going to have in this podcast. Question, Dazz. Do mouse reviewers need to be a good player to be credible?
No, but I would like them to be. This is, I think, my
Okay.
opinion. Like, because if you look at the way I review mice, a majority of my video is just talking about like the shape of the mouse, the implementation of the mouse. Like, it has nothing to do. And then like 7 minutes into every video, roughly, I'd give you like a minute of my overall impressions and how it was actually in use and what I was doing with it. And like, I guess like it's nice to have decent looking scenarios, which is why I always have smoothbot overlay B-roll on my videos because that's my best scenario, which is probably a little bit boring. Man, I hate seeing my face that close up. Anyway, yeah, like all of these parts of the video here are just like, how is the mouse made? What's the implementation? Shape comparisons, like, and you can do all of this while being the worst FPS player in the world. You could never even use the
Yeah.
mouse and do most of these parts. But like in my mind, it gives more credibility to like the usage scenario and your overall opinion if you've like performed at a high level with it and like you're good enough to see a performance difference in like two mice that are very similar. So
Yeah. I agree.
that's my little rant about it.
I think that's a very good take. By the way, one tip on the camera angle here, one thing you can do, zoom your camera in like 2 or 4x, but then put it way behind, even if you have to sit way back far in your chair. You have to like wheel your chair way back because you'll get less of the fisheye lens effect. You'll get more of a flat picture that way. Yeah, I've learned that with. Sorry, we'll move off of your face.
Get it out of here.
That's something I learned with taking some product photos. Yeah, I agree. I don't think you have to be a pro. So there's like two sides of the spectrum, right? You could have somebody who, I don't know if I want to pick on, oh, sure, whatever. We'll pick on some people. So the Techni is an example of somebody who, he's an older guy. He's probably no, boardsy cracked level Fortnite pro, but he has really interesting testing methods. He does the thermal imaging camera. He does the build quality little plunger push force meter test. I think that is 100%. He's on top of it with releases, dude. Like, he has the Lamzu Inca. So I super respect his style. I don't go to him looking for like Astra Kovacs runs. On the flip side, you have people like Boardsy who are very talented, but also give rather superficial, almost, perspectives. So I don't know if I want to say that one is better than the other, but they both have their place in the market, and I guess it's whatever appeals more to you.
Exactly. To me, it's Boardsy, but I watched Techni more when I got into mice, and I've veered away because he's gone heavier into like thermal grip tests, which I could give zero craps about, honestly. We can talk about that. The thermal grip test doesn't make sense to me unless I have the same grip as he does, I guess. Like, I don't know what value it provides to many people. The force meter, again, like you can just use your hand to show it, but like I guess it is cool to see numbers on it. Like it is, I do like empirical data, but
yeah.
Also, I still don't watch this review, and I'm curious what the heck the ink is. So like I need to go watch it.
It's interesting. So I do want to transition to I watched Viscose has the Raw Input podcast. Go check it out if you guys are into aim training at all. Viscose is an incredibly talented player, and she has a few other people on this episode. She has Maddie OW who joins, but then her other usual co-hosts, Miss Colors, who is like a Kovacs GM and plays Call of Duty, and then Pengu, I actually don't know, but it's a good podcast. They have an interesting dynamic. Viscose is kind of this, tells it how it is, keeps the podcast flowing, kind of the backbone, the host, right? Penguin is like the little bit more reserved, has very reasonable takes, is chill, down to earth. And then Miss Colors is the kind of ADD, says whatever's on her mind, comic relief. It's a good dynamic. And they had a topic in here that, I don't know, we have such structure to a podcast and we still struggle for topics. I don't know how they manage this, but
oh, 1,000 subs already.
Yeah. And this is re-upload too, dude. The first episode is 69,000 views. They said it was here, I'll put on captions, but basically, does an aim coach have to be good at the game that they're playing in order to be not legit, credible? So
an aim coach?
these guys do. Okay. So these guys each had their own take. And I thought it was pretty reasonable, but Maddie and Viscose have both done aim coaching, especially Maddie. I don't know about the other guy, about the other two. But yeah, let's hear your take, and then I'll let you know what they said.
An aim coach specifically, yes, because I feel like you should have experienced it mechanically. You need to know what you're talking about. It's like, I mean, there are good, like, for example, offensive coordinators in football who never like played, and like they just are like schematically like better than everybody else and they succeed. But like aim specifically, like I'm thinking of the coaches I've experienced in gaming are like esports team coaches, and like I don't necessarily know if those people need to have played the game, because like if you've watched it and you understand the flow of a game, you can help like people with positioning, call outs, spawns. But like aiming is such a mechanical thing. I feel like you should also have like you don't even need to have crazy aim, but you should understand like and have experience in aiming. I don't know. What do you think?
Um, I think personally, I think it's a little bit more nuanced. I think no, I will agree with you. I think with aim coaching, you need to. There's a certain level of aim training where it's like literally um, natural talent, like reaction time and ability to pick up on things that are happening really quickly. That
Hmm.
if you're not a high level aimer, like I simply won't be able to talk intelligently about something that a player is doing wrong, how they could fix their micro adjustments or whatever, because like it's literally happening too fast. I can hardly perceive it until I watch their VOD 7 times back to back. So um, where I do think it could be useful, like you don't need to be amazing, is if it's more like gameplay coaching, but we're talking about aim coaching. So I do want to make that distinction for anyone else who is getting the two
Yes.
confused. So, for example, Viscose recently released a video on how to react faster in any game, and it's basically friggin' ads. Oh my gosh, 2 ads. It's basically prediction. So watching the character models and their animations and predicting what the where the person's going to go after that. And so this entire video, which is really well scripted and really well edited, goes over all these like, oh, in Apex, they drop their shoulder before they change direction. Dude, I am not going to cheat anyone. I cannot perceive that. Like, maybe if
No.
I play the game enough, then I'll like sometimes get it. But in general, I personally don't. In the games I play, like Battlefield, which does have like hefty character models because everything you do in that game has inertia. It's really not a ADD Adderall Overwatch, rapid trigger strafing type game. Um, I honestly can't perceive it because the camouflage. People are always against dark backgrounds using dark camouflaging using dark weapons.
It feels like Battlefield and COD are attempting to make players harder and harder to see, like character models with every new game.
Yeah.
But
But I do understand if you're a really high level player, then like aimer, then you literally have the like brain neurons to be able to process that, and eye retina connection. I don't though. So I
me
don't know.
either.
I I think these guys are all high level aimers. So I don't know if maybe there's a little bit of a perception of like, oh, if you just grind hard enough, you'll become grandmaster. I simply don't think.
I disagree.
Yeah, no matter, I could quit my job and play aim trainers all day. I probably would max out at like Jade or Masters at best.
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
I don't think I'd be able to hit GM, or I simply do not have. If I was maybe back at 22 years old, maybe a little bit better, but no,
It's like
no,
sports. Like LeBron James was born to play basketball or like be a football tight end or something, like, and he had like he's worked his butt off to be as good as he is, but he
yeah,
had like he was predetermined that that was going to be good for him.
yeah, yeah. There's a
So
certain level
natural
of
talent plays a big role.
born with it, and you just can't beat biology to some extent.
Hard work and like determination and like practice play a massive role as well, but there's two sides of the
Yeah.
coin.
I did want to, so going back to what their take was, um, yeah, they pretty much said like it's not a hard requirement, but they have to be able to talk intelligently, obviously, and so they kind of switched the topic over to more so what are red flags with an aim coach, because I guess Maddie and Viscose, I guess, have been compensated at some point, or I don't know, maybe not, I don't know. if they've been aim coaches in the past, that means they've also seen or heard of bad aim coaches, and both of them had opinions but didn't want to name names.
Oh, this is the most niche discussion ever.
I know, it really is.
Aimers discussing bad aim coach red flags. This applies to
Yeah,
5 people.
but they talk about like ignoring pseudoscience. They talk about ignoring people who do the same practice these 12 routines, and then they go to another person and they give the same 10, 12 routines, exact same recommendation. I don't know. So for going back to mouse reviewers, I don't think it's yeah, I stand by what I said about like the Technique versus Boardsy, 2 different skill levels, also 2 different review styles.
Mhm.
I'm also not gonna say that, oh, because Boardsy is some super high skilled player, that his 8K hertz polling rate debate, even though I can't tell the difference, the fact that he can means he must be right. The fact of the matter is, if I can't tell the difference, that's all that matters to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is most people.
One thing I did want to say about the prediction thing, this was me doing a I've only done this scenario like 5 or 6 times, but at one point here I actually do predict the target, because so this is a close strafe. Let's just freaking play it. This is a close strafe scenario, and there's actually like 1 or 2 points in this where the target, instead of just going left right, it when it changes left to right, it also goes in and out. And I guess I read that movement, and it was around 58 seconds. That actually did predict it, and I felt kind of good. Pat myself on the back.
Nice.
Yeah, right there. I don't know if you caught that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it moved backwards, so I guess I read that as
Yep.
it was going to be changing direction. Yeah. So the prediction, I guess, is totally a thing. It's just I'm too noob. Yeah. All right. Do we have anything else to talk about? I think this week can be a shorter week.
Yeah, we can call it.
Okay, well, there we go. I don't think this is my favorite episode of the pod, but if you lasted this long with us, thank you all for watching or listening. If you like this podcast, what do I usually say? Subkinder.
Consider subscribing and sharing it. Consider talking and saying words and sharing it with your fellow mouse nerds.
Yeah, we have a Discord server. You can chat with us there. We talk about stuff prior to the releasing on the pod a little bit. We also engage with like Q&A type stuff and post like
the captcha is there because bots. There were many of them.
Yep. Message me if you have problems getting in with the captcha. Invite links in the description below. Submit a comment down below if you have ideas for other discussion topics, or we had a really bad take. I don't know. We'll be back next Friday with another episode.
We'll see you.